guys, what's up? So I know it's been quite some time we baked, so today we are gonna do black forest cake. Let's see how. Okay, so first we have to do the cake batter. For that we need to put 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Alright, this I'm using the measuring cups. Alright, so yes, okay, you're putting 2 cups of all-purpose flour. See the measuring cups. Alright, next you have to put in 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. I know a lot of y'all have this measurement problem with how much is 3/4. So 3/4 is half cup, alright, plus the 1/4. Okay, so you take and you make sure that it's like this, right, like this, like completely, and then you put, so that is 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. Okay, and then you put 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, let me tell you guys something. The baking powder is different compared to the baking soda. A lot of y'all get confused. Please do not get confused. All right, so this is another spoon, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm using this brand, right? Okay, you will add another 1 teaspoon of baking soda. All right, and I'm using the one that I bought from the 99 Street Mart. This is made in Malaysia, right? And you need to add salt. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to mix this. All right, you have to mix it and then you have to swift it so that you do not get that lumps, you know. So let's change it to another container because I want to use this. So we change it to another container and then we'll swift it. Okay, you gotta swift it, alright? See, like I told you, this. So now what you're gonna do is we're gonna take a spatula and we're gonna like push it, right, so it doesn't have the lumps, right? Okay, as you can see, this should not be mixed. All right, you should throw it, don't put it with the cake. Okay, next we're gonna add sugar. Sugar is 2 cups. All right, if you're using the measuring cup, then it should be fine. All right, okay, I'm running out of sugar. I need to re-add the sugars. All right, I've already re-top up, reload, recharge, retop, whatever you guys called it. Okay, so this is gonna be 2 cups. Okay, right, wow, there's a lot of sugar actually. Okay, so that will be 2 cups, which is equivalent to 400 grams of sugar. Then you had 1 cup of full cream milk. Okay, I'm using the ready-made one, the fern leaf. Okay, and then okay, you add half cup of oil. Okay, I'm using this oil. All right, it's natural, the sunflower oil. You guys also can use any vegetable oil. Okay, okay, then you gotta add 3 eggs. Okay, if you are a vegetarian, you do not use egg, you can use curd. Okay, so 2 large egg is equivalent to half cup of curd. All right, and if you don't want to use the oil, you can also replace it with melted butter, right? And the last, you gotta add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Okay, the vanilla extract's purpose is to actually overpower the smell of the egg, all right, and also gives a good aroma for the cake. So it's 2 teaspoons. Okay, so now we have mixed all the wet ingredients. We have to mix it first. Okay, you can also use the electric beater, but I am going to use it, but before that I'm just mixing it because I don't want it to, like, you know, fly everywhere. All right, so yeah, so now we'll use the electric beater. so now we'll change to the wire whisk. Okay, and you have to beat until it becomes consistent. All right. Okay, so you guys, once you have beat, it has to come to this consistency. All right, see. Now let's say if it's not in this consistency, what you guys can do is you can add milk. Okay, you can add milk. Some people prefer to add hot water, but I don't believe in adding water because it might dilute the taste of the cake. Or you can also add melted butter or the oil. Okay, you can make modification on the wet ingredients so to get this consistency. All right, I would suggest to use the milk. It's always good to adjust the consistency, right? So now the cake batter is ready. We're gonna prepare the pan. I'm using a heart-shaped pan. Okay, so put the butter everywhere. Okay, in the sides and everything. Okay, coat it. Okay, and then you can put the parchment paper. Okay, so it will stick. All right, you see, right? So it will stick like this, and then you're adding some more butters. Okay, this is to make sure that once the cake has cooled down, you can take it out like really nicely without breaking it. Okay, and you put the butter in the coat, in the side, everything, coat it in the side everywhere. There you go, done. Right, so we're gonna pour the batter inside. Okay, okay, so as you guys can see, we already pour the batter, and you have to tap it like this. Okay, to break the bubbles. Can you see the air bubbles? Right, now we'll put it in the non-oven, which is my oven. I'll show you guys. Okay, so this is gonna be my oven, right? These are the salt that I used in my previous baking. You can reuse it. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is you can also use your pressure cooker. Okay, but I don't like to use the pressure cooker because my pressure cooker is small. Put the flame on low medium heat, and then okay, pour the salt. Okay, adjust it. Okay, and then you put the stand. Okay, and on top of it you can put this, or you don't want this, up to you, but it's always better to put this because as you can see the stand is short, so it will prevent you from burning the cake, the down part, the bottom part. All right, so now we can place the batter. Okay, so you have preheated for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, and you can place the cake batter. Okay, and then you can put the pan. So if it's in oven, you can know exactly like what's the time to set, but since this is the kind of our homemade oven, what you have to do is you have to check every 40 minutes. No, not every 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, then you can come and check about after 50 minutes, like that. Okay, how do you check? You need to take a stick or a toothpick or a knife, anything, poke it in, and it needs to come out clean. You know the cake is perfectly done. All right, so now we will do the frosting. Okay, come on. Okay, so next we have to prepare the sugar water to keep the cake soft, and when we apply the frosting, it should be like sitting on it. Right, so you need that sugar water. So some people use cherry syrup, maple syrup, whatever syrup you can get, but I'm just going to use the normal sugar water. So this is half cup of boiled water, hot water, and half cup of sugar. Okay, and you just mix it and let it cool completely. All right, So just mix it. Okay, if you see it's not diluting, then that means probably your water is not hot enough. Then what you can do is you can boil it and let it cool, right? Okay guys, so now we're gonna do the frosting. So what you have to do is you have to use 3 cups of heavy whipping cream. Okay, that is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and you have to add half cup of powdered sugar. Okay, and then add the powdered sugar. Okay, your powdered sugar, like I tell in every videos, you cannot use it when it's hot. Okay, some people buy the ready-made powdered sugar. Like me, I like to always beat it, blend it using my own blender. So yeah, you have to wait till it cools down, then only you can use, right? So once you have added, so we have to beat until it forms the peak. Okay guys, since I used whipping cream, that was not heavy whipping cream. Okay, there's whipping cream. You can add the cream cheese frosting to make the frosting hold it better at the place. Alright, but remember, before you adding this, okay, you need to keep everything at a room temperature. At least for 3-4 hours. Okay, which means when you don't just take it out of the fridge and straight away use it. Okay, it won't be fluffy. So when you leave it at room temperature, it would melt and blend better. At the same time, it will be also fluffy. The frosting will hold at its place better, right? As you can see, when I press, it just goes in and it can come up just like this. Okay, so once you have beat it, like you have to beat it for quite some time, right? Okay, see, it doesn't fall. It has to be at this consistency. Alright, so it'll be easier for you to implement the cake. Apply on the cake, sorry. If it's too light, okay, see, I have to shake it to drop. If it's too light, then what will happen is it won't, it'll start melting. Alright, okay, so it took me like 50 minutes, like that, 55, sorry. Okay, so now what you have to do is you have to poke and it comes out clean. So that means the cake is done. Alright, you can remove it. Okay, as you guys can see, I took it out. I'm really exhausted, honestly. Now it's not really what we say cool down yet. Okay, so you have to wait till it cools down completely, and then you have to cut. Like, this is quite a thick cake. You can actually cut even 2 layers, but I'm just gonna cut. You see this partition in between? Yeah, I'm just gonna cut that once it cools down completely. Okay, so once the cake has cooled down completely, yeah, you cut it into 2 portions, or you can even cut it into 3 portions. Okay, but I just took 2 portions. So this is the sugar water and this is the icing. Alright, so first you have to take the sugar water. Okay, you can use a brush or even spoon or anything. Okay, and you brush it. Why do we do this? Is because so that it will hold the frosting in place. Okay, and it will also keep the cake soft and spongy. All right, okay, and then so like this. Okay, and then you take this. No, actually just take this and okay, yep, you put it like that, and then you do the leveling. Okay, yep, all right. I'm not a professional cake baker. I'm actually a beginner. So yeah, this is very good for me. Okay, then you add the sugar water again. If your cake is like a bit bouncy, then you can cut it to level, but this is not bouncy, so you can just, you know, like this. And you put the frosting everywhere in the cake, okay? And then we'll do the decoration. Okay, so you finish putting the frosting like this. To be honest, it's not really completely covered because I'm supposed to use heavy whipping cream, but I only used the whipping cream with the cheese cream frosting, so it's a bit light, but yeah, it holds. So once you put it in the freezer, it'll be fine. So once you have covered, then you can decorate it as you wish. Okay, like you guys can put the frosting, the whipped cream, or you guys can put the chocolate ganache or the chocolate sprinkles. All right, I'm putting this. Yep. This cake is for my husband actually.